So orientation is the first phase of the program. It's the first period, typically 30 days, where a guy gets acclimated to the culture here at Eagles Nest. In that phase, we do things such as learning to hear God's voice, which is really the most important thing that happens for a guy here at Eagles Nest. Hearing God's voice, starting to learn what is God's voice, how to decipher if it's the man or God. We do a lesson on that, on hearing God. The orientation phase is to help the man get acclimated to our culture and develop a new lifestyle that really sets them off on the trajectory for the rest of their program. It's the phase where they learn the ropes of the program. They'll get something we call a big brother, where really is the mentor for them early on. It's the person that shows them the ropes. They go to and ask questions like where to be at certain times of the day, what type of homework they have to do for their class and whatnot. And then once the guy starts getting settled in, we have a part of orientation where we really focus on something called the regeneration contract. And that contract is designed to help a man start to get into reality on the effects they've had on the people that they love. And it kind of develops a plan on where they're from, like what their past was like. So in that section of the contract, we'll talk about their history of addiction, where they'll go from start to finish, and from when they first started using to the end, to help them see where their addiction, how progressively it's gotten worse. And then we do something in the regeneration contract. It's called Why Are We Here? And that's the present, where typically they talk about the crisis that got them here, and then maybe the people that were instrumental to them getting to the program. And then the last phase is where they're going. We'll talk about, in the contract, maybe some specific habits that they have that are hurting them, maybe things that they do in their addiction that push people away. The orientation phase is designed to get a man to start trusting, because a lot of guys, when they get here, nobody really trusts them. They have no relationships. They destroyed everything in their lives, and we give them trust, and they don't know what to do with it. The orientation phase, if I could say in a few words, is to start to tear down the walls that they've built up over years of addiction and the hurt that they've caused. They've built up these walls to where the orientation phase is really meant for them to start opening up and talking. And we help with those by the regeneration contract. We have exercises and lessons about what a day in the life is at Eagles Nest to get them into some awareness of what's going to be expected from them. We'll go over rules and guidelines with them to really get them oriented with the program. So to get them oriented to what they're going to experience. And it's really just for them to start to open up and learn to process, when really as men or women, we don't typically at this stage have never really done. We've developed unhealthy coping mechanisms, and typically the main one is using drugs.